from Fox 56 Sports and Lexington Sporting Club. This is Around the Pitch.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome into Around the Pitch, a show dedicated to Central Kentucky's professional soccer club, the Lexington Sporting Club. I'm your host, Colby Wilson. Happy to be with you all. Each week on Sunday morning, we will kick back and discuss the news, players, and culture surrounding the Lexington Sporting Club. We're diving right into it this week because there is a lot happening around the pitch. We begin with major news breaking this week from the club. On Tuesday, it was announced that LSC is expanding its opportunities for young men playing high school soccer right here in Kentucky. The new developments will now give male high school players in Lexington the option to participate in the Club Academy training program while playing for their high school team in the fall season. There are 3 different options for the kids to choose, and high school athletes must declare their intended pathway by June 1st each year, allowing both programs to coordinate schedules accordingly. This is exciting news, and we will have a full breakdown of what options the players have coming up later in the show. Also making headlines this week, the club's upcoming match, Loudoun United FC, will be a Jägermeister Cup event. The USL Jägermeister Cup consists of 6 regional groups with around 6 or 7 teams assigned by league or conference affiliation per group. Each team will play 4 matches, 2 home and 2 away. The upcoming match against Loudoun United FC will be played right here in town at Lexington Stadium at 6 p.m. Sin City came to Lexington last week as the men took on Las Vegas Lights FC. Lexington brought the offensive pressure early, creating multiple chances to score, including a shot in the 22nd minute from Braudilio Rodriguez that was denied by the crossbar. So unfortunate. The first half ended scoreless, with both teams unsuccessful finding the back of the net. Moving to the second half now, the tough defense just continued. Both teams battled back and forth, and tension spilled over as 3 yellow cards were issued to Vegas. Jack Singer, Gennaro Negro, and head coach Antonio Nocerino. The match ended in a 0-0 draw as both teams could not find the back of the net.
Going into this game, we hadn't had a clean sheet since our first game, and so I think the whole group felt like in El Paso, we probably did enough to win, but we bled a couple goals that are not up to our standard. And so I was really proud of the guys after the El Paso game that they just said, hey, enough's enough. Like, we're done bleeding goals.
Coach also gave a shout out to the fans for the energy they brought to Lexington Stadium. So shout out to you guys. I learned defender Gael Gibert's name a few weeks ago, or at least I thought I learned it. I'm not sure. I probably still have some work to do. And this week I was tasked with another name to learn as I sat down with LSC midfielder Sophie Giffal. Okay, so I'm calling you Sophie.
Sophie.
Like
yeah.
everyone else. But say your name to everyone else so they have an idea of how to say it as well.
Okay, my name is Sofiane Giffal.
Sofiane Giffal.
Yeah, right. There
I feel
you
like
go.
you say it faster,
That's good.
it works a little bit
Okay,
better.
fair enough. Yeah, no. Fair enough.
So you guys are 8 games into the season. How do you feel like the team is gelling so far?
I think we're doing great. I think obviously certain results didn't go our way, and but I think in general, based on our performances and how we've been playing, I think the group is feeling good, feeling confident, and we just have to turn those performances to points now. But I think we're in a good spot.
You talk about certain results. I know that last match against Las Vegas, 0-0. What are the little things that you guys have to do better in order to come out with a win in those type of games?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good and control most of the games. I thought we were the better team for most of it. I think now you have to be a little bit more dangerous around goals and be able to score and make it difficult, because goals change games, and I think that's the last piece that will like turn everything around for us.
Last week we aired your mic'd up segment. It seemed like you were messing around with the guys during practice. Seems like the chemistry is certainly there. How has it been just getting to know this team and the way you guys have bonded so far this season?
No, I think it's great. I think a big thing about this group is that they did an amazing job forming a great group of guys. I think there's not one guy that I can't joke around with or be close to or even have serious conversation with. And I think that's big, and I think that's probably the biggest strength of this group. Obviously there is quality on the field, but the bond that we all have and how much we laugh in general just make this group special.
Speaking of laughing, so who's the funniest on the team? Who are you giving it to?
Elliot is really funny. Okay. Maybe his English accent makes it sounds funnier than he actually is, but he's a funny guy. I'll put Elliot up there.
Get him on the couch
I
and
think
see what it's about.
I think it'd be good.
how much has the Lexington community meant to you guys so far? I know they're showing up to the games, being loud. What is that? Has that been a conversation you guys have had as a team? Is just how much the community is showing up for you?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think that's the reason why we come out and why we want to play, because we want to be able to inspire people and to give back to that community. Because, I mean, we're taking care of like babies here. Like everybody's taking care of us. Everybody wants us to be successful, and I think that's big. And if we can, find a way to put a smile on their face by playing the games we love, I think that will make this place special.
If you could give one message to the community on why they should keep showing up for this team and keep supporting, what would you tell them?
I would say that we are a great group of guys, and I think there's big things coming ahead for us this year, and I think we'll become really successful, and the goal is to bring a trophy home to Lexington. So we're going to need their support, and we're going to take care of the business on the field.
That's great. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you.
Switching over to the gals in green now. They were at home taking on Spokane Zephyr FC on Thursday. That game actually aired right here on Fox 56. The very first LSC match broadcasted live on traditional television, so extremely happy we were a small part in that. Not a great start for the home team down Athens Boonesboro Road. 6th minute corner kick. Emina Ekic sends a great ball into the box, and Sydney Cummins just dominant, heads it in to give Spokane a 1-0 lead. 13th minute, they are back on the attack, cutting it back with an awkward pass in the middle of the field, but Ekic, who is actually a Louisville native, just dominates this game. Boots one, it's a dart right to the low corner, and that makes this game 2-0. Spokane Zephyr FC would score again in the second half and take this one 3-0 over Lexington SC. Earlier in the week, the ladies also fell short in Florida. Lexington SC was on the road taking on Tampa Bay Sun FC inside Riverfront Stadium. It was a defensive struggle for most of the first half, with neither side able to break through until the 36th minute when the Tampa Bay Sun got on the board. Things would soon spiral out of control for the Lexington ladies as the home team scored 2 more points before the half was over. Lexington SC rallied back in the second half and got on the board in the 58th minute when Nicole Vernis put it through the net. And despite their efforts, the ladies fell to Tampa Bay Sun FC 4-1. Turn the page now on Around the Pitch. We're taking a look at the Lexington Sporting Club logo. The bold design has been a staple since the club's inception a few years ago. But what were the ideas behind the decisions that were made? Here's a peek behind the curtain of the concept behind the crest.
Our first step as Lexington's club was to listen to the people of Lexington. We conducted 14 listening sessions. We received over 300 brand surveys and nearly 1,500 stadium surveys. In total, we listened for over 80 hours and conducted more than 200 hours of research. And the message is clear. We are proud of our winning tradition, and we are proud of the landscape that nurtures our signature industries, bourbon and horses. The stylized horse is the focal point of our crest. It references tradition in a way that's both familiar yet brand new. Our name, Lexington Sporting Club, brings an international heritage. It highlights our sporting passions and it sets the tone for a compelling future. The shapes of the letters are inspired by the careful curvature of bourbon barrels. The elements of the crest are bounded by a traditional shield, a symbol of the sport we love. And our team colors, they are drawn from the landscape itself, from the electric greens of the bluegrass in spring to the deeper, mature greens of our trees. Together, the colors, the design, the name form an identity that symbolizes who we are. We are Lexington Sporting Club.
Well, there is no doubt that the logo is Lexington through and through. Don't even think about touching that remote because we have plenty more to come right here on Around the Pitch, including a new edition of Kicking It with Colby. This week we caught up with the guys ahead of their game and learned their favorite meals before the match.
You're watching Around the Pitch with Lexington Sporting Club.
I'd say by and large, I'm pleased with the team's performance. You know, I think that coming off of the El Paso game. We felt like we needed to make sure that we didn't concede, and every player that stepped on the field had that mentality not to concede. It was certainly the back line did a great job. The mentality from front to back was good to not give up many chances at all. A little bit unfortunate on the night not to score goals. I mean, it's what we've done in every single game, and the guys are confident that they can do that. So I think that for us, we're in a really good place mentally. I think the guys understand that we're playing well, and as a coach, I want to see them reward themselves with the 3 points. I want to see them reward the fans, the city, everyone with the 3 points, because the performances by and large are good enough. And look, we want to keep making them better, and we want to be a little bit more ruthless in the final third. But man, I'm proud of what the guys have accomplished so far. They've come together so well, but the way they're playing is, man, it's pretty impressive in terms of the chemistry. And now it's that final piece of turning that into wins, which is what we all want to do here, is win and inspire people. I think the tactics and talent, that all takes care of itself a little bit, but having a group of guys that really love each other, care for each other, want to go to war for each other is special. And I love working with this group every day. And I think that sometimes, again, you need pain points to galvanize a group, as I've said before, but if that's what it takes to get the group as close as they are right now, I'll gladly walk through that, because I know that it'll pay dividends in the end.
Yeah, obviously the games leading up to that one, we were leaking in goals a little bit, so we wanted to clean some things up on the back line, and us defending as a group. So I thought we did that pretty well, and we can build off that for sure.
There are a lot of decisions that go into a game day. What will the players wear? How do they prepare upon arriving to the stadium? And maybe one of the most important decisions, how do they fuel their bodies ahead of a game? I caught up with a few LSC men's players to see what their go-to pregame meals are. On this week's segment of Kicking It with Colby, we're figuring out what these LSC men's players fuel their body with ahead of game days, and if they have any superstitions. Let's go check out and see who's first. All right, Marcus, got to ask, your pregame meal, what's your go-to?
Today was ground turkey,
okay,
a little angel hair pasta with some vegetables. Today was green beans, so usually something light like that.
Is it always the ground turkey, or you kind of switch it up? Well, what's your other option?
Ground chicken,
okay,
ground beef. I try to keep it ground, something light.
Do you have any superstitions ahead of games?
Any superstitions? I just have to get my pregame nap, a little FIFA if I can. And other than that, that's it.
I love it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, Speedy, go-to pregame meal ahead of match day.
I have a few options.
Okay.
I mostly stick with my Jamaican regular, some white rice and some chicken, and a little fruit on the side.
Is this you cooking this?
Sometimes not.
So are you a chef?
I am not a chef.
Do you have any superstitions ahead of games?
No, I try to stay away from superstitions.
Awesome. Thanks, Speedy.
Thank
I gotta go with chicken and rice. It used to be pasta, but the tomato sauce kind of does some stuff to my stomach after the game, so I gotta do chicken and rice.
All right, well, if I'm going with any player's pregame meal, I think I'm going with Marcus Epps. He mentioned the pasta. I also used to eat pasta ahead of my games in college. So we've got ground turkey, pasta, chicken, and some Jamaican food. That is the food of the LSC men's team ahead of match days. That's it for Kicking It with Colby this week. Well, hey, everyone out there looking for a new pregame meal, feel free to join Marcus Epps and I, and you got to go with the pasta every time. Lexington Sporting Club is going on a road trip across the Commonwealth, and you will not want to miss it. In just a few weeks, the club is hosting its Republic Bank Road Rally. Experience our first USL Championship match against Louisville City FC on Thursday, May 1st. For $55, you will get a round-trip bus transportation from Lexington to Louisville, a pre-match social at West 6 Nulu with food provided, 2 West 6 Nulu beer tickets, as well as a commemorative scarf and rally towel. The bus departs from Lexington Stadium at 4 p.m., so do not be late. You can go to the Lexington Sporting Club website to register. We're just a few weeks out, so be sure to register as soon as possible. Coming up after the break, we sit down with LSC women's forward Hannah Richardson and learn about her journey in Lexington and what direction she is headed as the season rolls on.
You're watching Around the Pitch with Lexington Sporting Club. This This is Around the Pitch with Lexington Sporting Club.
Well, Hannah, first off, thank you so much for joining us and coming in the studio and being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You have a little bit of a unique story. You actually played at the University of Kentucky, and now you're playing professional soccer for the Lexington Sporting Club. How has it been to kind of play 4 years somewhere and then transition that into pro soccer?
Yeah, it's been a great experience so far. I actually did my 4 years, at UK, and then I went overseas and played in Denmark professionally for about a year, and then wanted to come back and play in the States, and this amazing opportunity came to come back to Lexington, which was obviously a familiar area for me, and so I just couldn't turn down the opportunity.
Have you been able to maybe help your teammates kind of get to know the area, or give them maybe some coffee place suggestions or anything like that? As it's all new for them, I'm sure. Yeah, no, it was funny, especially when the girls were coming in July 1 was when we came, and everyone was like, where's the good food spots or good coffee shops? And I was like, I've actually been here for 4 years for college, so I love that. Could help them a bit. For sure. So watching the game back yesterday, I feel like you guys are kind of finding your footing, but there's just like a little tweaks that you have to make in order to come up with those wins in the final third a little bit as a forward. Is that something you guys have been talking about, just maybe tightening up those runs a little bit or being a little bit more dynamic so you guys can find the back of the net a little more often than you have? Yeah, it's definitely been frustrating, especially going from the fall when we were scoring a lot every game, but that does happen, and so just as a team we're trying to move off the ball better, definitely get our outside backs up to also help in the attack and just get numbers in the box. And right now our coaches have been talking to us that like our runs in the box just need to be a little more dynamic, so then that we can get on the end of the ball and just finish. What are the conversations like in the locker room? I know Coach Stockley can tell you guys so much, but when you're in the locker room and you're like, we got to get this together, kind of what do those conversations look like? Yeah, it's just holding like everyone accountable, but also just holding yourself accountable. That's kind of what we've been digging on to even today in our team meeting, and just getting back ready for this weekend and just trying to, you know, forget the past mistakes and just try to find something deep down that can get us motivated for the next game. Aside from the X's and O's, what can you tell everyone about this team? Maybe something they don't get to see while they're watching the game, something on the side. Like, is there any fun things you guys do or something that you just want to let them know about the team that they don't really get to see? I would say our energy in the locker room for pre-games is really good. We have 3 Colombians on the team, so we get to listen to that fun, Hispanic, upbeat music. So I would say definitely like our pre-game like warm-up music has been something that's really good for the team. That's great. I think we're going to have to tune into that. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for being here. We're excited to see you out on the field and how you guys progress the rest of the season. Thank you again. Thanks. Enjoyed sitting down with Hannah. We'll still ahead on Around the Pitch. We're taking an in-depth look at the partnership between Lexington Sporting Club and the high schools around the city.
You're watching Around the Pitch with Lexington Sporting Club. This is Around the Pitch with Lexington Sporting Club.
We started off the show with the major announcement that Lexington Sporting Club is working with local high schools to expand opportunities for young players. The club has worked alongside the Lexington high schools to introduce 3 structured participation options, allowing male athletes to choose the best fit for them. The first option is a full-time academy player. These will be players fully committed to the club and will not participate in high school soccer. They will have the opportunity to attend select college camps, combines, and all-star events with academy approval. Well, the next option for players is a hybrid model, allowing athletes to play for their high schools during the fall season and then train in the club's academy, where they will be placed accordingly based on evaluation. The final option is the most traditional pathway, allowing players to represent their high school team in the fall while competing with an LSC youth club team. We just started spring, but the summertime will be here before you know it, and the club has some relief for when the weather starts getting hot. Earlier this week, the Lexington Sporting Club has announced a new multi-year partnership with Pliables. The summertime snacks and smoothies will now be on site at both youth and professional matches. Pliables serves up high, fresh, quality smoothies and fruit bowls to fuel fans and athletes on game day. Fans can also be on the lookout for exclusive player appearances hosted in collaboration with Pliables, and you can certainly catch me there because acai bowls just happen to be my favorite. The city of Lexington is celebrating its 250th birthday this year, and they are celebrating by designating April as a month of music. Lexington Sporting Club is participating in the celebration by hosting a post-match concert following its game against Loudoun United FC. The performer will be Hannah Ellis, a Kentucky native who is a country music singer and songwriter. She's had multiple songs appear on Billboard's country airplay chart, and she is sure to bring a good time to Lexington. Lexington Sporting Club is offering all sorts of amazing promotions I promise you do not want to miss out on. Coming up soon, the club is hosting their first ever Pups at the Pitch night at Lexington SC Stadium. Be sure to bring your four-legged friends and enjoy the action as the Lexington SC women take on Tampa Bay FC on May 10th at 7 p.m. The first 500 dogs in attendance will receive an LSC dog toy. You will not want to miss out on this one. I would love to meet all your pups, so be sure to bring them out. Well, that just about wraps up this morning. Thank you all so much for joining us on Around the Pitch. We hope you have a great rest of your Sunday.